Thursday. Have you arranged it?
Morning, sir. Mr. Samba, we would like to remind you of your oath, that you stay on the oath.
Mr. Samba. Today's evidence would be in relation to several issues. We'll start with the first one. There was a payment made from the Jame Foundation for Peace.
I'm sorry, Honorable Chairperson, I want to make an intervention before my line starts with her submission. And it is in the light of the witness who came yesterday. And I say so because the Honorable Chairperson had encouraged us to follow the Commission's reporting after its sittings to know what these witnesses say. And it has been a great concern. We have been monitoring it, and it has been a great concern. And that is the reason why I wish to mention regarding that witness. my learned friend continues to elicit evidence from witness Mamadou Lamine Sonko in a way that is becoming very concerning to my witness, in the sense that Mr. Mamadou Lamine Sonko has been before this commission on the 2nd of October and was asked to bring documents to tender before this commission, which will show the agreement between the parties who sold Kairaba Beach Hotel. My learned friend continues to ask Mr. Lamine Sonko about these documents which he is unable to produce. My witness has, before this commission, caused a search at the Attorney General's chambers and provided the commission with an agreement executed by the parties, prepared by Edu Gomez. My witness has provided that document, yet Mr. Sonko has been before this commission without a document that has been executed. My learned friend has not been able to establish any justiciable controversy between that witness and my witness here, Mr. Samba, but she continues to elicit evidence that has not been substantiated with documents. My learned friend has gone to the extent of advising this witness as to what to do, and she is counsel to this commission, not counsel to Mamadou Lamine Sonko. And we keep wondering why. We keep wondering why I continue to do this. Inquiry is not a counsel is here to help the commission, not to sensationalize the evidence, but to rely on the facts as they are. There is nothing more than a document that has been registered at the Attorney General's chambers. We have had Mr. Lanconte before this commission. He has explained to this commission that where the money were obtained to purchase the Kairaba Beach Hotel, he has explained. He himself, Mamadou Lamine Sonko, has explained to this commission where he paid the sums that were paid as purchase price, which account, which bank. He has done that. And yet my learned friend here, with all due respect, continues to elicit information that is of no issue before this commission, because all the evidence that is relevant has been provided for. And it makes me wonder, and it is a concern to us. My client is very concerned about it, and we wonder whether it is because my learned friend is also one of those counsels who prepared documents pertaining to the sale of Kairaba, because the commission is being deflated from the facts. My learned friend, my witness has caused a search at the Attorney General's chambers, and it has come to light that Ami Bensouda has prepared documents pertaining to Kairaba Beach Hotel. And hold it.
As to the last statement,
yes,
we don't have any evidence of that here.
we have it. My witness has documents showing
Yes,
that Ami Bensouda has prepared
hold it.
documents.
At the appropriate time,
Yes.
you may, I've already told you, you may bring any
We are ready
documents.
to produce it.
Not
We are
now.
ready to produce it.
Not now.
Yes.
All I'm saying is you
Yes.
have no right at this stage to make that statement
Yes.
because we do not have evidence.
And I want to go further.
And I've already stated this
Yes.
right from the beginning, that any person affected who wants to bring evidence can do so at the appropriate time. But this is not the appropriate time.
We have the evidence.
Secondly, I've already said that counsel can always cross-examine. That is part of our proceedings. It's just that we never see counsel coming to cross-examine or even to examine, except perhaps in one case. That is the case of Tambedu. So it is for counsel to be vigilant in protecting their client, knowing what is happening and applying to do the necessary things. But one cannot be allowed to come to this commission and make allegations not backed by any evidence. That's why I'm stopping you.
My Lord,
On that issue.
Honorable Chairperson, in fact, we are saying that we've got the evidence.
I have said
Hold
that
on,
we
let me-
do not have the evidence here.
Can I just finish? The issue is of cross-examining witnesses that are before this commission cannot arise because it is my learned friend who prepared these documents and we would like to tender. We cannot cross-examine her on that because she is not a witness.
No, I'm not talking about...
I want to go further.
Please.
I want to go further and say that. Yes.
I have said that when I make a decision, it has to stand. But anybody can go and appeal if they want to. My decision is that you cannot talk about that at this stage because we do not have any evidence.
Very well. What I want to add is that in the light of what I have said, my learned friend should advise herself whether she should be here because the series of documents that concerns her, there are many before this commission, and she should advise herself whether she is the fair person to deal with the Kairaba issue and many other issues. That is what I'm saying, that the council advising the commission should advise herself whether she should be here because there are so many issues that involves her. That is basically what I'm saying, that there are documents that we have evidence of that. Fine, my honorable commissioner does not want us to deal with that, but I am saying
it's not a question of me wanting A or B. This is standard procedure. You cannot make allegations based on nothing. And it doesn't mean that just because counsel, any counsel, was involved in preparing documents, it doesn't mean that that particular person is barred from these proceedings. Just as you are involved, or we saw certain documents signed by you, and that's in evidence, that does not stop you from defending your client. But we haven't reached that stage. That is the point. If you want to make any application, you can make it at the right stage. But not at this stage.
I thought that I should bring it to the attention of the commission because there are issues
we have
that have
you.
not been brought before this commission, and it is meant to sensationalize and not actually help this commission. My learned friend should not be heard to be advising a witness before this commission. And my learned friend knows that fully well, that the object of the exercise is not to progress the arguments that are before this commission.
No, I'm talking of the advice. What advice are you?
Embarrass and humiliate.
Which advice are you talking about?
I'm sorry?
I thought I heard you say that counsel advised a witness.
Yes, counsel advised
Which
the witness,
advice?
Mr. Mamadou Lamine Sonko, as to what to do to raise a privilege. Like I said, the commission has encouraged us to monitor what has been said.
No.
Had
Sorry. I didn't get the advice. What I had here was counsel asked the question to Mamadou Lamine Sonko. Are your people going to waive the privilege as between counsel and client? That's what I had.
Well,
and Sonko, not very well knowing that he is not the managing director of the company, but fully represents them here, had to get instructions from abroad as to whether to waive the privilege or not. A waiver, as you know, you are a legal practitioner, as you know, there is privilege of communication and other privileges as between lawyer and client. And unless the client waives the privilege, no question can be asked concerning that issue. I think that was the only reason.
Well, we had differently, because the question was not whether are you going to ask. It was ask your people from Kuwait to lift the privilege so that Mary Samba can clarify the issues before this commission.
Yes.
And that is what I'm saying. It is advising the witness, not asking the witness whether he would lift the privilege.
Well, anyway,
and that is what I'm saying, that it is not, the council advising the commission is getting into the arena, which is not permissible. She's supposed to be advising the commission rather than the witnesses who appear before the commission.
Well, sorry, that may be your view.
Yes.
But counsel is here not only to advise, but to bring forth documentary as well as testamentary evidence before us. And she has every right. In fact, she has a duty to do so.
So we are informing...
And all the commissioners here, all of us, have a right to do so, even without the intervention of counsel.
Very well.
Counsel is not running this commission. The three of us are running the commission. And I believe we have tried very, very hard to be as fair as possible. As I've already explained in some of my rulings, this is not a court of law. This is a commission of inquiry. And we have the right to call for any and every document available to help us in our inquiry. And there is no one to tell us what is relevant or irrelevant. I have, in fact, stopped some documents from being tendered, either because it was irrelevant or because it was unfair. But I'm afraid we cannot say right away that counsel can do this or counsel can do that based on no evidence before us. And that's the last word I have.
Yes, we are informing you that we have the evidence and we would like to produce it before this commission, that she was part and parcel of the transaction of Kairaba Beach Hotel.
I've told you that when the time comes, you can call. I think it's not only today that I've said this. I've said this before and over again, that after the evidence of the witness, Amadou Samba, you have the right to call witnesses and produce documents. And I'm repeating that. And that's not restricted to witness Amadou Samba. It applies to all other witnesses. And I've said this. I said this right from the word go, right from the inception of this, of the sittings of the commission. But it seems the lawyers want to have it another way. I can't do their case for them. So that is where we end. And we have to proceed now.
Very well.
All right. Counsel, you may proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
I have not asked you to answer
Yes.
any allegation, because as I've said, no allegation has been properly made. Whenever any allegation is properly made, then you may answer. All we have heard is nothing but allegation.
Very well, Mr. Chairman, but I would like to crave the Commission's indulgence, not to answer to the substance of any allegation, but just to put matters in context as regards my learned friend's concern that I might be on a path to sensationalizing any evidence or maybe putting any other colleague in a position, in an untenable position. I'd just like to say in relation to what she said regarding the evidence of Mr. Sonko and how I might have led it. I'd just like to say that Mr. Sonko did say in this commission, he did say he did not have all the documents. This witness, Mr. Samba, produced documents and on which he could not answer every question because he said the documents were given to him by his sister, who was the lawyer on record acting for Karafi and Sons. I will not comment on the propriety of that because Ms. Samba did act for Karafi and Sons, and there is a relationship of privilege which ought to have been taken into account in giving documents to Mr. Samba. However, since Mr. Samba could not answer some of the questions, particularly on a particular power of attorney, which when I asked him about the source of the power of attorney, he said he did not know. And I put the same power of attorney to Mr. Sonko, and he said he did not know. So it seemed to me that the only person who could explain is Ms. Samba, the lawyer for Karafi and Sons. Secondly, if Mr. Sonko did not have the evidence to tender, and Mr. Samba produces documents, I don't think my learned friend is suggesting that we should not recall Mr. Sonko to put those documents to him. I owe the duty to this commission to recall Mr. Sonko to put documents produced by Mr. Samba from Karafi and Sons' lawyer, not through Karafi, but through another witness. It's my duty to clarify the evidence, and I will not flinch from that duty, notwithstanding any allegation anybody may have. And I'd just like to conclude by saying that I have no concerns or fear about any evidence that anybody may produce, because I know I have never acted for ex-President Yahya Jammeh in any capacity. I know I have not acted for any close associates that have been named close associates before this commission in any capacity whatsoever. I am not saying I have not prepared documents. I might have. But one thing is clear. I have never acted for ex-President Jammeh, and I have never acted for anybody named the close associates. When the time comes and I see any close associates, in relation to him, I may be conflicted. I will be the first person to bring it to the attention of the commission. I have no personal interest in this process, none whatsoever. I'm doing my duty as counsel, as I was appointed as counsel, and I will not hesitate to do what I think is right, and I will not be intimidated. Thank you. Mr. Samba.
Very well. We'll commence now.
Mr. Samba, a certain transaction was brought to your attention by the investigators. This concerned a payment that was transferred to suppliers with regard to goods that were not specified. And in the transaction documents, which is from Exhibit BB 72, is it G? The transfer is from the Dr. Alhaji Yahya AJJ Jammeh Foundation, number 107-0193-0502. and it was made on the 8th of April 2013 concerning one Michel Nehmi, Red Crude Express, an exchange of emails, $7,801. Do you have any explanation regarding your involvement in this transaction?
Yes, I do.
You may proceed if you have an explanation.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Actually, I think during the course of my evidence, I alluded to the fact that sometimes the president will ask me to seek for quotation for certain things he wants abroad, either abroad or locally. And in this particular instance, he asked me that he would like 2 refrigerated trucks, and he asked me to seek for quotation for 2 refrigerated trucks. I think it was meant for his butchery. And of course, normally Michel Nehmi, I use Michel not only for this particular transaction, but I use him for a lot of things, because one, he is at the red code. That means that he will easily facilitate freight. And not only that, I mean, he normally sources things for me. So in this particular occasion, when the president asked me to seek for quotation for 2 refrigerated trucks, I spoke to Michel, and he eventually came out with the quotation. And the quotation was in the name of Kanilai Family Farms. And when I got the quotation, I sent it straight to the president, and he did the transfer straight to Leland Trucks. And I think all the specifications were spelled out. He wanted a sign to be written on the trucks. That is this Gambia, is it Gambia Muslim Butchers? Okay. So when he made the payment, they shipped the trucks, and I think there's a copy of the bill of lading showing that the trucks arrived, and he took delivery. I mean, the trucks, you see them everywhere in town. It's the trucks bearing
Okay.
Gambia Muslim beaters.
How many trucks were these?
2 trucks.
2 trucks.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any other documentation that would be helpful to this commission in relation?
I have the copy of the bill of lading.
Okay.
And also, I think the quotation, when Michel sent me the quotation, I sent it straight to the president. You know, I was just a facilitator, so to speak, because normally when he asks me for these things, I will get the quotation. I make sure that the quotation is in the name of Kanilai Family Farms. Then I send it to him. After that, I don't want to know. Actually, after that, he will, you know, tell the bank to transfer the money to whoever the beneficiary is. And of course, when he received the trucks, I saw the trucks. That is all I know about this transaction.
Okay. These are trucks that were given to, do you know who they were given to? Is it Kanilai Family Farms?
Kanilai Family Farms.
That's the
They took delivery of
yeah.
it.
That's,
in fact, the trucks are around, because the last time I saw them in town.
Thank you. Can we have the documents?
Yes,
please, from Mr. Samba. Thank you. This is the liner bill of lading?
Yes, that's the bill of lading.
Okay. That's all you have?
That is all I have. In fact, I got these documents after At the time I was called by the investigators, I had to do some research to get these
Yes.
documents.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Chairman, may I apply to have admitted the liner bill of lading concerning the payment from the Dr. Alhaji Yahya AJJ Jame, account number 107019305, made on the 8th of April 2013, Exhibit 70, BB 72G.
Liner bill of lading number U406103, dated 24th August 2013 relating to 2 refrigerated trucks consigned to Trust Bank Limited and notified to Kanilai Farm, allowed on application of counsel to the Commission to be included as part of Exhibit BB 72.
Sorry?
Oh, I'll read it again. It's allowed to be included as part of Exhibit BB 72.
As the Commission please.
Mr. Samba, you have heard Mr. Sonko's evidence that he gave the last time he was here?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. And do you have anything to say about his evidence? Any part of his evidence that you wish to contradict or you have a comment on?
Yes, ma'am. Actually, when I listened to Mr. Sonko yesterday, I think his evidence, like, I can only say that it was an afterthought after listening to my evidence, because in his evidence he completely deviated from his original evidence. I think we all heard him when he was giving evidence. His original evidence, he categorically stated that I signed on behalf of Yaya Jammeh. He categorically stated that I signed on behalf of Yaya Jammeh, assigning the property to Harafi and Sons. After he has discovered that I tendered documents showing that it was Robert Aswanden who was given power of attorney by Catherine Tamba, and he, Mr. Boto, signed as witness in the same document. And because of my evidence, he decided to manufacture.
Mr. Samba, may I just say that?
Allow me, please. Yes, ma'am.
When I intervene, you have to listen.
All right, ma'am.
Right? You are
Yes,
here
ma'am.
to assist the
I'm
Commission.
sorry, ma'am. I'm sorry.
And you are a witness of facts.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm not asking you to address the Commission on Mr. Boto's evidence.
Yes, ma'am.
Is there any part of the evidence that is inaccurate, that you would like to contradict? You're a witness of fact.
That is what I was saying.
Yes, but what you're doing is you're
I said that he manufactured the evidence, which is a fact. He manufactured the evidence. After listening to me, he knows that he was not saying the truth, because I've produced documentary evidence which he cannot deny. He decided to come back with a different story. And his story this time is that I signed the document, and soon after that, something happened, and they said that it's Yaya Jammeh that should sign.
Mr.
What I'm asking this commission is to ask him to produce that document if I sign any at all.
All right.
Yes, the other thing
Are
is...
you aware of any sale agreement that was signed?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you aware of any sale agreement that Mr. Catherine Tamba signed before Robert Ashwanden signed? I'll show you the document that Mr. Sonko produced in a moment. Mr. Sonko produced a sales agreement, which he said is the sales agreement that Karafi has on their file, and which is different from the sale agreement signed by Robert Ashwanden. That was also a sale agreement signed by Catherine Tamba, which I'll show you in a moment. Now, you had said, of course, that the documents that you produced, you took from Ms. Samba, you were not involved. So I'm just going to show you if you have any comments on that, on this sale agreement. This is Exhibit 103.
Yes,
It's
ma'am.
a sale agreement of the same Kairaba. And signed by Catherine Tamba as the attorney for Millennium Industrial and General Trading. Again, it was, it's on, well, Mr. Emir Karafi, you will see, signed and was witnessed by Ahmed Issa. This is a document Mr. Sonko produced. Can you show it to council, please? Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. My only observation.
Yes. Have you ever seen that document before?
I've never seen this document. But, I mean, my only observation still buttresses my point. There is nothing like Amadou Samba on this document.
Very well. Can you collect the exhibit, please?
I have another point to make. Can I? In answer to the same question.
Yes?
Okay. In his evidence also, he stated that I made the payment for capital gains or stamp duty. That is completely incorrect. You can verify this from the tax authorities. I was never involved in the payment of the capital gains, neither the stamp duty.
Very well.
And the other point is, Mr. Boto alluded to the fact that he has never, that he did not know about Gomez's document, yet he signed it.
I'm sure the commissioners will look at all the documents and draw the necessary inferences. And of course, your lawyer would be entitled to address this commission at any time on the evidence that has been led, at the appropriate time, on the evidence that had been led.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right. Now, we'll go back briefly to the list of documents that you have.
I want to interject regarding Mr. Sonko. Did you ever go to Standard Chartered Bank with Mr. Sonko with respect to the sale of Kairaba?
Never.
Thank you.
Actually, I alluded to that earlier.
That's fine. Thank you.
Allow me, please, if I can. I alluded to that earlier. I said that Robert Aswanden contacted me when it came to the sale, he contacted me about the outstanding they were owing Standard Chartered Bank. I mentioned that.
He said you physically went with him
I never.
to the head of corporate.
I never did.
Thank you.
Just going back to the properties, you did mention the law.
Honorable Chairperson, I'm sorry, my learned friend. Honorable Chairperson, since we are dealing with Kairaba and my witness have certain documents pertaining to the issue, we would like to tender them.
Where are the documents?
I'm sorry.
You are saying you have documents to tender.
Yes, I said that since we're dealing with Kairaba and we have documents that we would like to tender to further help the commission, can we do that now?
Yes, where are the documents?
Yes, the documents are here.
Can I see them, please?
Mary, there is a power of attorney.
I'm sorry.
Power of attorney from Catherine Tamba. Your secretary. There's another document.
Is it coming, Paul?
It's okay. No, it's all right. The power of attorney. The certified copy of the power of attorney. Certified copy. It's not here. Well, I'm not, but the certified true copy of the power of attorney. No, the power of attorney to Catherine Tamba. We have a certified true copy. Bring it, let's put it in together. Oh, I thought we have it. Ah, okay then. Thank you.
Where is the other one? There are two. Or is the same document? Now give it to the witness to give evidence on it. It can't just be tendered without evidence.
Tender the document. Mr. Samba, you can proceed to. Can you tell the commission who the partners are?
Yeah, in the parties in this document is Side Gambia Invest Limited and Senegambia Beach Hotel. It has been registered. It's serial registration number 527/205, volume 68, KD.
Sale of Kairaba Beach Hotel.
It's in respect of the sale of, the sale was done by Kairaba to Senegambia Hotel.
To Senegambia.
Yes.
And who prepared the document?
Prepared by Ami Bensouda.
Thank you. Honorable Chairperson, we would like to tender the document in evidence.
Mr. Chairman, let me just say, yes. Well, I suppose as counsel, Mr. Chair, I would like to be able to say something about the document, not to give evidence, but on the propriety of and the relevance of the document. It's not.
Deed of assignment, serial registration number 527/2005, volume 68 KD, dated 5th February 2002, between Side Gambia Investment Limited, trading as Kairaba Beach Hotel, and Senegambia Beach Hotel Limited, relating to hotel premises situate at the Tourism Development Area, Pombo North District, The Gambia. Admitted, mark MS 104. Now, sorry, before deed of assignment, right at the beginning of the sentence, you will put copy. Okay? You got that? Very well. Yeah.
Mr. Samba, I'd like you to look at MS 104. That's the deed that has just been admitted, prepared by my humble self, Ami Bensouda. Now, as read out, it is correct that this was between Side Gambia and Senegambia Beach Hotel. Mr. Samba, correct?
Yes,
this was between Side Gambia, trading as Kairaba and Senegambia Beach Hotel.
Yes, ma'am.
And it's about the sale of a building for laundry and power generating facilities by Kairaba to Senegambia.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. In 2002.
Yes, ma'am.
And this is before the president acquired the premises or after? Do you know?
I wouldn't know, but no, I wouldn't know. I think this was after Baba Job, Side Gambia, because when the property was transferred, it was transferred from Side to Millennium.
So
yes, this is the reason why I said that really de facto, from the beginning, this property was meant for the president.
So you're saying this is before it was transferred to Millennium?
I think this was, I'm not sure. I've not seen the dates. But what I can assume is that this particular transaction took place when the ownership was with Side Gambia, because there you see Side Gambia transferring the property to Senegambia.
Okay, I'd just like you to look at the signatories and
yes,
tell me whether you recognize the signature of The person who signed on behalf of Side Gambia. Do you know?
Yes, ma'am. I've seen this signature.
Yes. Who's the signatory?
Actually, I cannot tell.
Okay.
In fact, this goes to
Can you show it to him?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
This goes to strengthen my argument, especially when Lanconte was saying that I was in the management, blah, blah, blah. I mean, this is a clear proof of that. Because
Mr. Samba.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, that signature, isn't it Peter Smith's? Isn't it signed Peter Smith?
Maybe it's Peter Smith, but Peter Smith.
It does say P. Smith.
Ah, okay, then it's Peter Smith.
It's P. Smith, isn't
Yes,
it?
ma'am. It's Peter Smith.
Okay. All right. What I would like you to clarify, since it's a document that you're tendering, is what is the connection between this document and the sale of the property to the president, or the president's sale of the property to Karafi? I'd just like you to clarify, if you can. What is the connection?
Because the only connection is Side Gambia. Side Gambia Limited.
Could you expatiate?
I'm not sure, but Side Gambia is not the company that they used to buy the hotel.
Side Gambia owned Kairaba. It's quite clear from that document.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So that's the only connection.
That's the only. I think that's the connection. Yes.
Well, Mr. Samba, you should know because you are tendering the document.
It's answered.
Well, I think this is just giving us the history.
I see.
The history of Kairaba. I mean, to show that it, like during the course of my evidence, I said that the hotel was under liquidation, and I even mentioned Peter Smith as one of the liquidators.
Okay.
Then it was later transferred to Baba Job and Lanconte,
Okay.
and to the company of Baba Job and Lanconte. So it's just giving the chronological background of the whole
Okay.
story.
I see. All right. That's fine. I just wanted to put the document in context.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, of it having regard to the evidence.
That's the context,
Very well.
from
Can
the
you-
beginning to the end.
Okay. Can you retrieve the exhibit, please?
Question. It is
Yes.
correct that you got this document from the Attorney whilst you were searching.
Hold it. Sorry. Whilst counsel is asking question, I'm afraid you cannot ask question
Okay, I thought
at this stage.
Very well.
Not at this stage.
Very well.
You can always do so at the appropriate time.
Very well.
Very well. Yes, ma'am. Can I return the document to you?
Please, can you give it over to?
Said de facto the hotel belonged to the ex-president. Can you explain that in plain English? Are you saying it was bought on behalf of the president, or you meant or you knew it was going to the president anyway?
No, when I
Please
said,
explain that.
yes, sir. When I said de facto, the hotel belonged to the president, from what I saw, that is, Baba Job was dealing with, Robert was directly answerable to Baba Job. And of course, Baba Job was answerable to his master, which is the president. I mean, I even went up to the extent of saying that these people wouldn't have the guts to collect money from the central bank to pay for the hotel without the president being in the know. So de facto, I mean, Baba Job was reporting to the president.
But the president was caught unawares. He admitted he didn't know they bought it until after.
That is Lanconte's story.
You refute that? You
Vehemently. That is Lanconte's story. Because I mean, it was very easy to decipher these things. Like, Baba Job was working directly with the president up to the time he transferred the property. So Baba Job was very close to the president at this moment in time. So I cannot see Baba Job hiding things from the president.
But Lanconte also said you were close to the president. So
That is
was your proximity to the president the reason why you know all this?
This is, no.
You are talking from knowledge.
No,
You are sure the hotel was bought on behalf of the president by
Yes,
Baba Jobe?
Yes,
That is knowledge from proximity.
exactly.
So you were a close associate of the president.
Never.
Then
I
how
came
do
to-
you know all this?
That's what
You are
I'm
not
com-
showing us any
No, I'm
documents.
coming to that.
Thank you. Can
I'm
you tell
coming-
us clearly
Yes, I
what
want
you
to
know
explain
and
to
how
you.
you know?
Yes, I knew about it because in the first place I introduced Baba Jobe to Peter Smith. So I knew also that the transaction was consummated. And I also knew that Baba Jobe didn't have the capacity to purchase the hotel. You just need to add one and one together. I also knew about the money shop. I knew about what was going on in the central bank. Putting all this together, I mean, it's simple logic to know that Baba Jobe was working for the president. About the association, me being the associate of the president, I completely deny that.
Okay.
He was a friend, quote unquote.
With regards to the purchase, 3 million was advanced and the remaining 2 million was taken from public funds,
Yes.
central bank.
Yes, sir.
Now, if you are saying Baba Jobe acted on behalf of the president, that is implying all the 5 million came from public funds because the ex-president was never paid 3 million by the government as salary or emolument. So all the 5 million came from public funds. From
Well-
your relationship with the president, can you confirm to this commission he bought the hotel with public funds?
I'm not there to say.
Can
I
you?
can only assume that he got the funds from where. I can only assume maybe the central bank, maybe from other sources. But for sure, Baba Jobe didn't have the money to purchase Kairaba with that kind of amount.
Nor
Even
did
if you-
the ex-president have it.
Exactly. If you do your investigation, you'll be able to get an insight as to where the source of the money is coming from.
You knew all that and you accepted the chairmanship of the hotel.
I accepted.
Mr. Samba, why did you accept to
I
be
have
chairman?
answered that question before. I said that Baba Jobe was a good friend. He regarded me
You did
as
not accept chairmanship on behalf of friendship. There was a business interest. People accept chairmanship roles with full responsibility. It is an
Business
executive
interest.
role. It's not a role you downplay.
Excuse me.
Why did you accept to be chairman?
Excuse me. There was no business interest. There was no vested interest. Absolutely. I took this chairmanship because one, Baba Jobe was a friend of mine. He, maybe gave, like I said, the chairmanship was only symbolic. I had no vested interest in this whole thing. I was not hungry. I was not hungry.
As chairman of Kairaba, did you receive any benefits whatsoever?
Nothing, absolutely.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Samba, I had set aside MS 104, but I'm advised I need to just clarify one point. Now, I believe the document was tendered. Well, it seems, not say I believe, the documents was tendered because I prepared it. I'd just like you to explain why my preparation of the document, the sale agreement, why is it relevant?
No, I've already answered the question. I mean, the question of your preparation of the document, I mean, I said that I'm leading this in evidence in order to give the chronological history of Kairaba Hotel.
Or not because I prepared the document?
No, not at all.
I see. And just one last question. As a lawyer, is it not correct that the solicitor who prepares documents in land transactions is usually the solicitor for the purchaser?
Exactly.
Thank you. And in this case, the purchaser was Senegambia Beach Hotel.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Very well, we'll rise and we'll be back in 15 minutes.